and taste profile of the bottles, bringing value to your everyday distillery when you distill, to your breweries and to your wineries with all sorts of tips and tricks. Today we are going to flip the script and discuss something that's literally for us creators, I don't know, toxic, a death sentence, completely against our nature. But guys, get a hold with. If your distillery, winery, brewery is on the brink, you got to go through every step of the process and see we where you can cut costs. And unfortunately, one of them is manpower. Manpower is prohibitively expensive. And yes, they're your buddies and they're your friends. But if your distillery, wine, and brewery is not turned around and it's teetering on the edge, none of you will have jobs. And you can ask Donald Trump how many people called his friend. He always says a famous story why he doesn't retire. Once you retire, what happens to all your friends? They forget about you. I know that's the sad reality, but your winery, brewing, distillery is on the brink. There's only one way to go about that, and that's to cut down process, cut down workers. And one of the most economical ways of doing that is using concentrates. Now, I'm not saying to go straight to only concentrate brew spirits or distill spirits. You might want to use grains. You can't lose those relationships with the farmers that you built up. You gotta look at that. That's when you need a data analyst. Maybe they're bringing in more sales than you're actually paying them, and that would be about the stupidest thing you could do. Um, to kill off your client base, your customers, your friendships that are helping with the sales. Again, it's not an emotional game right now. You need to figure out economically how to pull this off. But with syrups, you have a lot less spoilage, a lot less of unpredictability. Transports, of course, are obviously cheaper. It runs an efficient machine. A lot less things go wrong in the process. The sugar content is straight up there. You don't need to have all of that. And it's cool because the recording is so much easier. It is just that much easier in your books. That said, that heart of a craftsman, it just falls out. You can't believe you're bringing in a syrup to your distillery. I mean, you can source of guilt and say it's short term, but is it really? It's almost as evil as bringing in a neutralized grain spirit or a whiskey from another source, sourcing your whiskey. The only benefit over here you're going to be telling yourself is you're actually doing something. And guess what? That is 100% true. You are continuing with the craft, making it much more cost efficient, much more consistent in flavoring, less workers, and actually being able to service your local customers, your client base, and rebuild your struggling business. So you got to lay it aside all that heart that you've had, and go and cut back and use the syrups. That said, here's where the kicker comes in. All those wonderful spirits that you've been making from fresh ingredients, don't discontinue that line. You built your business on it. Those lines are who you are. So, hey, this news might not be as bad as you think it is. You need to raise the prices on those. Have them. People are emotionally connected with them. Not just you, the distiller. I hope people have. I hope you have customers. But now that you're creating a cheaper, lower product, you are building up your entire portfolio, raise the prices of those. So you grow that profit margin. And what's interesting is when you raise the price by you might find that people are actually now commenting differently. It tastes good. It's selling better in stores. Hey, I could buy it in the store down the block and it's cheaper than over here. So go buy it down the store down the block. We're running low on it. It might actually drive sales. It's just human psychology. Raise the prices by makes it higher demand elsewhere. And people don't want to feel like they're overpaid either. So they'll convince themselves that this is so much better than the syrup that it's worth the extra spend. Thank you very much for listening to the Everything But the Battle podcast. If you have not checked out ttbmath.com, this ERP system can save you bucket loads. See you all tomorrow.